In the past years, youth voices on climate change have grown louder. Greta Thunberg raised her voice, and in the 2020 marches, she went on to spur #YouthForClimate, which helped illustrate how youth framed it. Why is it important to understand how youth frame climate change? Framing means a communication process by which society and individuals construct meaning about social topics like climate change. Each person perceives climate change's causes, effects, and solutions differently. For example, in news media like TV, radio, or newspapers, climate change was always being framed to match with their audiences. Political media emphasize fear about this topic, environmental media for protection, and people on the internet use humor to frame climate change. In education, climate change is often framed using an ecological modernization discourse, which means that our technology will be able to fix our environmental problems. Frames matter. Frames affect the attitudes and behaviors of people about a specific topic. Framing can represent the perception of the psychological distance to climate change. Psychological distance refers to the different ways in which climate change might be removed from a person. Someone can remove climate change because they think it is happening far away from them, that it will not happen soon, or it is unlikely to happen. Now that we know that frames matter, we need to study how youth frame climate change. We asked 453 students from the Western United States, what is the first thought or image that comes to your mind when you think of climate change? We analyzed their answers in 6 frames. The first one is the attribution frame. This looks for the cause of climate change. Is it caused by humans or by nature? The second one is the impact frame. Who or what will be affected by climate change? Is it the people, the animals, the plants, or the physical earth? The next frame is about the solutions that students talked about. Are they talking about adaptation or mitigation? The spatial frame means how the students perceive where climate change is happening. Is it happening globally, at a national or local level? Next is the temporal frame, which means if a person perceives climate change as a current or future event. The last frame is the valence frame, which relates to a positive or negative feeling. Based on that analysis, we found that the students can be categorized into 3 different groups or discourses according to their answers. The first is the psychologically distant group that tells this story. Climate change will affect global physical Earth systems, such as temperature and glaciers, in the future. 63% of the students fall into this discourse. The second is the psychologically near discourse. Only 14% of the students fall into this discourse and tell this story. Human-caused climate change is a current issue affecting people, plants, and animals on a local scale. The other 23% of the students belong to a third discourse called distant near mixed, and as the name suggests, it is a mix between frames from the first and second group. We also analyzed the students' level of concern about climate change. We found that youth belonging to the psychologically near or distant near mixed discourse did report a more significant concern. Therefore, communication and educational efforts should emphasize the impact of climate change here and now and stress urgency and agency. In this way, we can hope to make climate change personally relevant to youth by connecting science to their everyday experience. If you want to know more about the study, contact any of the authors at NC State University.